Yo, what's going on everyone? It's Garrett, and here is the official first episode of my portfolio reviews live stream. I'm going to be doing this once a week, so if you guys can, it's going to be on twitch.tv/BehrCEO. You guys can go ahead and follow my Twitch and turn the alerts on. I'm going to be streaming a lot more other than just doing portfolio reviews. I'm going to be doing client work, personal projects, and just like design streams and all. But I do want to say thank you to everyone who came out. We had about 40 viewers consistently throughout Twitch, which is just amazing for me. And I'm hoping that soon I can be doing this twice a week, 3 times a week, and end up getting a sub button so I can do giveaways, I can do subscriber chats and subscriber design stuff, one-on-ones or whatever the case might be. But of course, if you guys do want to follow my Twitch, it's in the description below. You guys can turn my alerts on here or on YouTube. I'm going to be uploading a video on YouTube every time I stream on Twitch. I also tweet a lot about it on Twitter, so you guys can follow my Twitter as well. So just enjoy the whole entire live stream. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, you guys can comment below on the YouTube, and I'll try to respond back as soon as I can. But just thank you guys so much for the warm welcome back, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. Peace out. Alright, so the first one's going to be It's lienhd. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Alright. Practice designs, desktop wallpapers, video thumbnails, personal work, and client work. Let's go to practice designs. Now, with this whole entire thing, usually I just like go through them first and then I'll talk about them, just because if I sit here and I talk about each individual one, then it's gonna take up like hours of just talking about one person. So the first thing I do want to say for you guys like starting out with the YouTube banners and stuff like that is you guys have these the big borders here, and a lot of you don't know, but this gets used on TVs. I know a lot of people probably don't go on YouTube channels with TVs, so leaving these out is usually like the biggest thing, especially when you put it in a portfolio, that it looks a lot cleaner just having like certain banners without a bunch of other things, you know, on top of it. So I would definitely go in and just take away these banners, like these extra borders and like low opacity things, and just leave it to basically straight up just the banner itself. But for like these designs, you gotta worry about adding like shadow and creating everything into one. And I can't really zoom in because it won't let me, but right here there would be a shadow on this text, and you know, just adding like maybe a glow in front of them or a glow to the side of them to, you know, bring out his shoulders, or just kind of morph these into the image would be a lot better. It's just like a huge thing, you know. Right here you did a better job having these splatters, but you should have put, you know, some maybe in front of them or some behind them, like on his head or something, just so everything, you know, flows together a lot nicer. But you have the right idea with the text and effect right here, and it's kind of like in the background too. I don't know if that was a texture or not, but it was basically the same thing. What I'm talking about is you have to create kind of like this whole entire depth project with this. But I'm gonna go to personal work just because I don't want to go through every single part of it. Ryan, the link to the Google Doc is you type in !portfolio. It's basically to get the whole entire Google Forms link. Magni, Enzo, and Rage, thanks for the follow. Alright, so with these, the first thing I do want to say is the gradient CCs that you're using on these, they're kind of like overused CCs, or from a while ago. It's kind of like an old style used in like a while ago. I don't even know when I can say it was used, but what I would definitely worry about is maybe making this more of like a photography image rather than kind of using these kind of red gradients. You know, it comes out in not only like the background, but it comes out in on the shadows right here, and no shadows are gonna have this kind of red stingy to it. It's just not how it works. But right here you have like the right idea of creating like the shadows. Same thing behind the trees. So, you know, you have the right idea of what you're doing. You just have to put it all together, you know, in one spot. And it's the same thing, you know, these are a lot better, but you need to start adding like more things, whether it be like kind of like environments, like a bird or like an ant, or maybe even like a log in front of the text, just to kind of create like a depth feel. It just really helps with like social media work and stuff like that. That's what people like really end up looking for. And then for client work, it's basically what I said before, you know, adding shadows and then putting things in front of other things to kind of create that whole entire depth feel. Alright, so that's that. A lot more people joined, so I just wanted to say hello and that we're doing this now. And there's no music just because I can't upload it onto YouTube with music. I'm gonna have to do it afterwards, so that's just like my bad. You're welcome, Liam. Alright, we got DMs. When BehrDesign doesn't follow. I'm gonna chat with him actually. I don't follow his stream. Alright, that's enough of that. Where'd that tab go? Oh, no. Yo, people that have Skypes, I pray for you guys, because sometimes I'll open that by accident and I have like thousands of contacts and it just kills my computer. Yo, what up, Farden, Cano or Kenzinio and Jewy? What's up, Stefan Bay Jensen? Alright, so this is David Hunt. Alright, so we got logos. I'm gonna go through them just in all. The first thing I'm gonna notice out of everything is there's pixelation. There's really noticeable pixelation around some of these curves. I don't know if you've done these in Illustrator or if you've done them in Photoshop, but it's just like really noticeable like choppiness into the pixels. That's the first thing I do want to talk about, just because that's a big thing to look out for when you're doing logo design. And I personally, it's raining. I personally don't think that you should make these so big. Maybe if you had like an extra like thing over here like showing the brand off, but using these in a lot smaller aspect is a lot cleaner in my eyes. But you know, you had the right concept with the logos itself. You know, everything has its own thing, like love locked, it's a lock and a heart. But you know, maybe incorporating a little bit more. These are very simplistic, which are good for certain companies. All your logos are done in Illustrator. Alright, I see that. It just looks really like choppy. But you know, maybe even like evening these out a little bit, or like I can see that the curve is probably gonna come around, but it just looks a little weird because it's A and the arch. Maybe, you know, having this the same side. But you know, you had the right idea with everything else. I just think that these being so big, sometimes maybe the pixelation does come out a little bit more. He didn't make some of those. I saw them on Google. I was gonna say, and if you make a logo, all you have to do is highlight it and then use like print screen and hit Google, and then it will come up. That's exactly what I do with logos. See, his doesn't come up here, which is basically a really good thing for logo design. If you see something that you want to make sure that, you know, isn't copyrighted, you basically highlight it and hit that Google symbol on print screen, and it'll come up whether it be copyrighted or not. See, it would literally be like the first thing to come up, just because it's very familiar with Photoshop and how things work. But that's your logos for the V1, V2, same thing. I like how you added the kind of names and stuff, but I think what you should do is maybe add these into the banner itself, like put them on the bottom, because the whole one above another, if it's in the same scroll, it's just a little confusing, especially if you don't know which one's which. Like I didn't know which one was which. So same thing, you know, these are really big, and it's just kind of personal preference making them smaller, but I think that it would look a little bit better, just because when they're so big, you'll definitely lose that quality. And then logo V1, I'm sure, is like literally the same thing. Yeah, these are a lot nicer, I think. I think the colors that you use with these are a lot nicer. This one I'm not too much of a fan of, but I do like, you know, this one. These colors are really nice, and they do, you know, work together a lot nicer. So good job with your logos. I would just worry about maybe saving them and then maybe doing like a little bit more. You know, they're very simplistic, but sometimes too simplistic isn't that good. Like this one's really good because, you know, it has like the wings for airlines and it has the A. So that's that with that one. Alright. I'm scared everyone's port is better than mine so far. Dude, you don't have to be intimidated by people. It's just a friendly thing. Alright. One sec. Let me just highlight the ones that we've done so far. Paint bucket. Alright, we're gonna do yellow. Alright, let me read the chat real quick. What's going on, everyone? Damn, I did not know that. Wait. Alright, whoops. I never knew about the print screen thing and use it all the time. I'm scared everyone's poor, and thank you. I would definitely take your criticism into my next project. Cheers. You're welcome, dude. Yeah, we're all here to learn. Alright, this is Chase. Did he say Chase? Yeah, Chase Grat. He's a student. Like I said, I don't want to go through everything, so I'm going to go through Twitter headers first, just because I know a lot of you guys probably came here from YouTube or came here from something that has to do with design, like Twitter, YouTube, social media, Call of Duty. You know what I'm talking about. So with this, it was what I talked about in the first one, is you need to start like maybe putting things into like a better scene. Like here's an example I have. Oh, do I have it on my desktop? Maybe I don't. I can show you guys real quick. I have a quick example that I can show you guys that I have done. These are really old, but alright. So with this, you guys are gonna see that I have things coming in front of it and things in behind it, and this is just for cinematic reasons and to create kind of a depth thing. Now these are really bad examples. I wish I could show you better ones, but I had to go on my external hard drive. But you can see that there's things coming around, there's flares, there's glows, there's other things happening. So just placing text onto here is not really the best, you know, thing to do just because you want to start creating more. Whether it be like this glowing a little bit extra and like lighting up the side of her face, and maybe this text is 3D or something like that. You just need to start incorporating things more into a big whole entire scene. That's one thing, you know, a lot of people forget about. But with cartoon portraits, this one's actually, let me go back. Yeah, this one's probably the best one because it has that kind of thing. But you need to add you know, shadows into his chin, into his shirt, sweatshirt, his hair, which is kind of a difficult thing to do, but it's gonna really help, you know, taking the time out. And then for the dripping logo t-shirt, the mock-up idea is good, but when you're doing like professional mock-ups, I'd stick away from these glows. These kind of like bottom glows to sometimes really take away from everything, like the professionalism. That's just something that I should, you know, you should really look into. And abstract landscapes. These are pretty cool. Doing these in Illustrator, if you have the time, of course, is a lot better of an idea, just because this it would look a lot cleaner, just because you won't have this kind of like blurriness around the edges, and it would just be like clean strokes. Some of these are a little sideways, and it would be a perfect blend. So that's what I had to say about that. If you know what I mean. One sec. If you know what I mean, just like let me know. If you don't understand what I'm saying, you know, you can always do that. I'm currently redoing my website, taking ages, but I can't make my money how I want it to look. You can totally link that as your portfolio if you want. I haven't designed in like 4 to 5 months, but I submitted mine anyways. That's the spirit, dude. Do you have any tips on landing design partnerships with companies or CSGO skin orgs? For tips, probably keep doing stuff. Consistency is probably key with this whole entire thing. A lot of people just kind of click on things and expect to blow up and expect to get that high paying job. You have to like understand that it comes with time. You know, I didn't start making a decent amount of money probably until like last year, this year it really took off, but like last year I made all right. But it's basically like a time thing. You know, you have to go through trial and error, you have to go through tough spots, and you're gonna go through these highs and lows. Like my channel, even my channel, I went through, you know, getting hundreds of thousands of views in like a month to get like 50,000 views, and then I'd get, you know, 100,000 the next month. And it's just basically like highs and lows. You just have to find what clicks for you. So definitely one big thing. People keep linking that. I don't want them to link it in the tweet. All right. If you guys are just coming in, I tweeted out that I'm streaming. If you guys want to go retweet that, there's a link. It would mean a lot to me just so we can get more people in here. Thanks, Studio. I understand those are from October. I started using Illustrator. All right, that's good, man. All right, so the next one's gonna be Blizzard Mute Graphics. So his alias is I want to say it's Mute Graphics, but he said Blizzard. I don't think his name is Blizzard. But with Mute, we got mockups and ads. So I'm gonna click on that first, and because advertisements are what's gonna get you that job, like I was saying before. But with these, sometimes adding all this text is too much text. You know, you want to really focus on the product and making the product, you know, the whole entire image. It's really about like selling the product rather than all this text. You know, if someone's interested in buying this, they'll look at this. But this is not the first thing I look at if I'm looking for a headset. I don't go on and then look at, you know, the virtual sound or surround sound or the active noise. I kind of look at the shape and how it looks first, and then I go from there. Making these glows that you have on this kind of corners a little bit more would be a better job, just kind of help this kind of glow. You know, if you're gonna make this purple and blue and green glow a lot, you want to have it, you know, glowing around the edge, just because it's gonna happen to come around it. And of course, saving these images in a PNG. And don't be adding your tags on advertisements. You know, you can put them in like the distance and like lower opacity just to, you know, put that on your website. But when you're like doing the ads, you know, bright green tags sometimes just isn't the best. And then for this, all I can really see that you did was change the text and keep the gold texture on, because I've used this ad before. But it does look really clean. I had to give you that. Going into other work, Twitch overlays. Now Twitch overlays are really big just because you're gonna need them. Alright, got a meeting, Dylan. Peace out, dude. That everyone's gonna need a Twitch overlay. You know, you guys can see mine. You guys are gonna need your own when you guys are doing streaming. But with these, they're very simplistic, but sometimes you want a little bit more, you know, shadows, you want glows. It depends on who you're doing it for. And then if you're gonna be doing this for the same person, make sure you put it all into one big unit like you did for these. Scrolling through all of these sometimes just isn't fun. You know, it's really tedious, you know, of course putting it on the background. But definitely cleaning this up and putting the best ones. Like I would probably take away the rest of these in the bottom, except for probably that one. But for like these ones up, I would keep and then take away the rest, just because you want the best to show first. And then of course, you know, right here maybe add in like some textures or some darkness, just because this kind of orange border glow sometimes isn't the best. And how you have all of these come out the page, you should want the top one to also do that. So just something to keep in mind when you're doing your Twitch overlays and stuff like that. Submitted my port through the form. What up, Laj? What up, everyone? Yo, Bound, you're gonna link your portfolio in the link, the Google Forms link. What up, Fuel? Glad you're back. Thanks, homie. Will you post this on YouTube? Yeah, it's gonna be posted on YouTube right away. Thanks for the feedback. You're welcome, dude. Yo, Laj, thanks for the follow. How many followers are we at? We're almost at 300 or 600. We're about like halfway there. Yeah, well, halfway to 500, or halfway through 500, should I say? All right, the next one's gonna be Riot. Just says Riot Designs. His name's Alan Forbes. That's a sick last name. All right, so we got it different, just because I've seen this before. All right, this is a good way to kind of show your portfolio. I like Portfolio Box. It's very clean. But I'm gonna do the advertisement first, because I know a lot of you are looking at this that probably have done advertisements, and this is a really good example. So thanks, Riot, for submitting. With this, really good is the glow, like, you know, the shadows, how the glow comes out. Maybe if you, oh god, I forgot I can't zoom in like that. Maybe if you add like a little bit more glow around like the edges of the guns or something like that, or the edges of this, it would help a little bit more. But this is basically what I was talking about, of adding these shadows, these glows, and kind of making the whole entire thing seem more together. You can see that he has a flare on the edge of this, which is going to help, you know, push that outside and the inside into one image. And then he has the text on top, which is like use code red, but it's not the whole entire thing. You guys have to understand that it's just a little bit on top, and it matches the whole theme. So this is a really good ad. One thing I could recommend is adding symbols on each side, so whether it be like the PlayStation symbols coming up or the Xbox symbols coming up on the side. It's just something that would help the thing. I believe, I want to say Jesper did it a while ago, but I can't remember. He did a PlayStation ad, and that was basically what was on it. For your social media, really cool. I do like these designs a lot. Some of these edge glows are a little bit too much, and the symbol right here, the arrow symbol, I don't recommend putting it on the bottom like that. Maybe if you had the 3D render in the middle, like your other things, it would look better, but I do like the whole entire kind of Raven feel. I'm sure it's just a regular stock, but it does look really good. And same thing with the rest of this, like right here, the kind of glow that you have. Not a fan of the text on this, but that's just personally me. You guys can do whatever you want with this kind of stuff. I would just rather see the name and nothing else. You know, I don't need to know that he's the lead designer of Silver, or that he designs for Myth Gaming. If I'm going to see the Myth logo and I'm going to see his name, I'm going to assume that he's a part of it. And then for like the 2D stuff, it looks clean, but if you're going to have this kind of shadow casting off this, I would recommend doing more of a shadow off these, just because it looks very just placed there, not really so much like it was actually made for it. So that's what I have to say about that. The rest of the stuff's really good. I do like the pixelation, and of course like the kind of these bars and these kind of yellow, or these, excuse me, not yellow, these green ovals. I don't know, oval rectangles. There's a special name for them. Just a little thing they're not needed. Maybe if you added like a drop shadow on this, but not like a regular drop shadow, like how you did with this crude text, it would look a lot better. And it would just, you know, make the whole entire thing look a little bit more classy. So that's what I have to say about yours. It's a really good portfolio, though, I had to say, especially this advertisement. This is something that you should really do more into, just because I can see, like, you getting picked up for doing advertisements rather than doing a lot of social media around. But that's what I gotta say about that. Can you link my portfolio through Twitter? I don't want to do anything through Twitter. Yo, CISO, I asked if anybody wanted to be a part of this, and you didn't respond. Those designs are cool. Been trying to find tutorials for those. Blizzard, if you have anyone to talk to, yeah. Alright. How many did we got so far? Oh, well, there's a lot of you. 22. Alright, we got Farden. It's a weird name. I was busy. Not busy now, though. Figures. You want to do this later on with me? I'm going to be doing this. What's today? Today is Saturday, right? I'm going to try to do this Tuesday or Monday if you want to do it with me. I'm going to try to do this like once like every few days. So this is Farden with his designs, and going through it, I would take this out, man. There's no offense to anything else. There's just certain things that you don't want to be a part of it, and I can see this is supposed to be like an 80s style, but I just think that the glow needs to be different. Not July. Oh, is that July 4th? Isn't July 4th? Oh, July 4th is Tuesday. All right, maybe not Tuesday. Maybe like Thursday or Friday. Maybe like next week. Barely make a tutorial on those kind of headers. Probably. I don't really like doing headers anymore. I don't think that there's no point to it. It's not really like a big thing, but with your 80s designs like this, I would just definitely, you know, if you're gonna add these, you have to do them a little bit different. These are a little bit better, but there's just like certain things that you don't want to do. You don't want to add this kind of text right here. Same thing with here. There's just too much text going on and not enough like other things. If you want to do like a clean 2D style like this, I would recommend doing more flat design rather than having these shadows casted off everything. But yeah, either way, boo, good luck. True story, you probably get 100 plus views on YouTube. I vanished from Twitch. Yeah, I was gonna do YouTube, but I don't know. I just think with the whole Twitch sub button thing coming out, and then World War II and other games, I might just stick to Twitch. And yeah, I was gonna actually hit you up later on because I was gonna go to Woodbury as anybody get some clothes. I'm gonna hit you up when I go, 100%, because I know you live around there. I will be there one of these days. I just have to get my paycheck and then I'll be on my way. But yeah, it's just the same thing. Like with these designs, it's the same repetitive thing, and you're not doing it in a clean way. Like this one's a little bit better, but you know, you see this text right here on each side. But this is something to definitely look out for. Fuel, where do you link your portfolio? It's !portfolio. I'll type it in for you. So definitely something to, you know, stick to. I'm off Wednesday and Friday next week. All right, if I get paid by then, no, I'll definitely hit you up. So that's your social media. Like I said, just things to worry about is just like this text and just these shadows. So you just have to worry about keeping that kind of flat design look. I just think that you're doing too many different styles into one, and it's really taking away from everything. All right, the next one's gonna be Erin. He's got a Behance as well. Behances are really clean for portfolios. Let me check my phone. Bear, what can we expect in the upcoming tutorials? Sorry about my phone. Expecting upcoming? Ugh. I don't really know, man. You know, it depends. I'm gonna do a lot of professional things. I'm getting a little sick of doing the social media work and doing like these Call of Duty styles. I'll do like advertisements for Call of Duty, but I need to get away from these Twitter headers. And like, no offense to you guys, but I'm trying to broaden my YouTube and broaden my like brand more, and I'm getting sick of these esports team Call of Duty things. So definitely probably more professional things like photography, video graphics, a lot more design stuff, but yeah, definitely ads. All right, so this is Erin Arts, and this is his YouTube banners. And like I've said over and over again, I hope you guys are understanding when I say this, that you're gonna need to add like shadows and stuff like this. And when you're doing, come on, Behance. When you're doing branding like this, definitely take away these big bars. These bars are not needed whatsoever, just because it's too much. You know, it's one big scroll through each thing, and that's just something to worry about. And with this kind of like 3D work, like I've been saying, you need to add more stocks in front of it, more texture, glows, lighting, whatever the case might be. This is a little bit better how there's a flares, but it's not enough. And with these layer styles are just, you know, overused. At least I think so. And you know, you're not following a whole style. I feel like you're trying to mix these 3D backgrounds in with this 2D stuff, and you're not really executing it. I think you're just getting a little like fritzy and start adding things together. So I would slow it down, do more professional things, because I can see that your tech style is more professional and you're just getting lost in like these overused Call of Duty lower opacity backgrounds. And then one big thing too is making sure everything's lined up, like making sure Chronicles of Orion, or of Aaron, what? I'm getting confused, is like on the edge of this, and then here is centered, and this is the same width apart. That's just something to definitely look out for. So that's one big thing I had to say to you. And this is just lazy. What is this? This is cool. I like this. This would be sick if it had like maybe this came in front of it, or this was a little bit smaller, but this is definitely a cool. And then with this, if you're gonna split the red and white like apart from each other, make sure the split is right down the middle for the red. Maybe there's a reason behind this, but I would just split that red right away. But that's what I have to say about your portfolio. It's good, you just have to keep worrying about those same things I've been talking about. So things to keep in mind, guys. Do you have any tips for people that are trying to start out designing for money? I'm gonna have a whole video on this that I have planned already, but designing for money, if you're designing just for money, you're gonna have a horrible time. But for designing for money, I don't know, how am I gonna answer that right? Do your own style. Don't do other styles you aren't comfortable with. That's a big thing. You want to stick to what you know, stick to your roots. That's a really big part of this. Other than that, really, don't take clients you can't do. Don't just take clients because there's a high paycheck. Sorry, it's in Danish. It's alright, man. I wasn't gonna read that anyway. No offense. But yeah, stick to your roots. Don't do clients that you know you can handle, and just be professional. But Dewey, Timo, Links, and Buys, yo, thank you all for following. You guys are helping me get to 600 followers. I'm gonna try to get that sub button soon, and then once I'm telling you, once I get that sub button, it's gonna be all the time. What up, Floris? How you doing, man? You do your monthly work? I saw your what's it called? Your mock-up, not the mock-up, the mood board, monthly. What about monthly? Nah, you got kicked? Oh my god, really? But nah, I'm gonna definitely try to get that sub button. But alright, Stefan, I know you're probably waiting for the portfolio. Alright, yeah, see, this is something I can look at. We got the 2D flat design stuff, and this is really nice. I like these. Have you ever heard of Musketon? Musketon, really? I think he did it. He did what the fuck did he do? He did Flat City, Icon City, something city. You know what I hope you know what I'm talking about, so I don't look like a moron. Musketon, I'm pretty sure it's him. He takes like, he's starting to take these hyper cars and he's starting to do a bunch of all this other stuff with it. But on the website, it's all hand coded. It looks really nice, man. I do like the website itself. But Musketon does a lot of this flat design stuff and like these animations, and it looks like you'd have a lot of fun. And I would definitely look into him. These are really clean. I like these a lot. These are these yours? Because this is really clean. Very professional advertisements. And I like how you're doing these brandings with the whole coding. I think this is very professional and how you did this. This is a little hard to read. Maybe making the text a little bit bigger, or the image a little bit bigger. It's just really hard to read. But everything else looks really clean. Like I said, this stuff looks a little bit bigger. Maybe if you open it and it takes up, let's just say, this much of your screen, if you can see that dotted outline, that'd be a little bit better. Because if someone has like bad eyesight or something like that, then it's gonna be really hard to see. But I do like all this. I especially like these flat design cars. There's nothing really I can say about these. Just maybe little shadows right here, a little like darker shadows. But like I said, these are really clean styles. Spacing is too less. Yeah, I like this whole entire thing. Maybe like right here. Oh, I'll pause it. Oh. This is the only thing I can tell you to worry about right here. Now this is me eyeballing it, but you can see that they're not, that's actually pretty spot on, but they're not like the same width apart. That you should just center that. That should be like one big thing to center. Have you watched Visual Arts? Isn't that... What's his name? I don't know his name. I know you're talking about. He's very young. I don't know. Yeah, Musketon. Let me look him up. Vector City. Yeah, it was something city. Alright, where is it? Nope, Musketon. James, yeah. I don't watch James now. I don't pay attention to that kind of those people. No offense to him. I just don't want anything. But this is Musketon, so it's not really the same thing. But he would probably be a good inspiration to kind of look at. You saw this? Let me see. Yeah, no, that's what I was talking about. There's his mood board for that. But Musketon's really sick, so I would definitely look at him. These are really cool. These are kind of like the a different view, but I think that everything else looks pretty sweet, man. So good job with your whole portfolio and all. Where do we link? It's ! portfolio. Yeah, I already saw that for us. I'm pretty sure I retweeted that, did I not? No, I did like it though. No, I did. I think that was sick. I saw that when I woke up this morning. Alright, one's Inks. I can't even pronounce that. His name's Inks. He's got some weird name going on with that. Except when we have the same name. Interesting. Alright. GFX King, Blux, thanks for the follow. Sweet viewer count, man. Thanks. I know, I wanted, I was getting a little iffy about streaming on Twitch or streaming on YouTube just because YouTube would definitely give me more views, but I feel like just Twitch is taking over. I think YouTube's dying. I do have almost 19K, but I still think it's dying. Alright, Inks, this is all yours. I thought with your name you'd be more of like an illustrator, but to say about this, there's just things you have to worry about, and it's making things in one. So, I can see that you have here, but there's just like maybe like a shadow. You just need something else to kind of put this into here. Adding this dripping effect maybe isn't the best either. And, unnecessary shadows maybe would take away from everything. Especially with this, there's like no like depth in here. There's no like reason why this should be here. There's no like sand dunes in front of it. There's no dirt. There's no like broken pieces. There's just little things you have to worry about like that. So with Jade and Faction also around here, I don't think that's necessary. I've said that in my other work. I just think that you should just have the logo in the middle. You don't need that extra text. It just takes away from everything. And I'm not going to go through everything, but I'm going to go through some things. And same thing with this one. This is a little bit better of how I said putting things in front of each other. But I would just definitely change this text. You need to add, glows around the tank, around the text. The fire would make these things, really hot, so it would be really glowing. Right here too, the muzzle, this thing would be lit up. There's just little things to worry about. There's lighting coming from here, and here it's gonna be coming from like up here somewhere, or shining down. There's just things like that that you guys should definitely worry about. The shadows on the bottom of the tank look fine, but like I said, you need to create like a whole entire system of everything. With a Darth Empire, even if you take this, I can do it right now. I got time. I got an hour. If you just take that kind of stuff, and I'll literally show you in 30 seconds. I'm gonna be gone in 60 seconds. That's me. But just pasting this in here and is literally grabbing an exposure and just tweaking a little bit of this stuff. Could help it a little bit more, just to kind of create more like an eerie feel, like a little bit of a contrast. Now you can take brightness up a little bit too, but I just feel like when you have this, it just doesn't make sense. You just need to have a little bit more darker feel to it, like a darker vibe. So this is one thing I definitely worry about. And like I said, with other stuff like this, shadows, and making sure that it all looks like it's placed. If this is a poker table, that these cards are not going to be that big. They're going to be ginormous. So one thing to definitely work out for right there. But the other work's fine. It's just the same thing I'm going to be talking about. It's like shadows. Maybe taking this not from an AVI would help, but shadows, lighting. Of course, adding contrast and exposure. Those are really big things. can you do a tutorial on how to price your designs? I can't really tell you guys how to price your designs. There's really like no like set guidelines. You do what you're worth, what you feel is worth, and if you get paid for it, and if you get too many clients, you raise your price. That's basically how it works. You know, if you do Twitter headers for $5 and you get 20 orders a day, go to $15. And if you get 10 orders a day and you still can't do it, do $25. And it's like things like that. That's how you're gonna price it. You need to figure out what works best for you. So this is gonna be Chance and his designs for the social media, and this is pretty dope. One thing I would definitely say that would look probably a little bit better with this is adding a 3D logo, like one of those 3D ones with like an outer glow or something like that. How to get clients. I've done one on how to get clients. I can do an updated one if you guys want. And then the same thing with this extra text on the side. Just a little bit too much. Same thing with these. I just feel like these are really old and you just need to maybe update your kind of thing. And then going into advertisements, you need to just create more. You just need to, you know, add a glow, you know, shadows, a background, something that doesn't make this just look floating on top of each other. So I would just, you know, worry about like adding like a shadow, maybe like a glow around here, and creating like a background that's sitting on, so you know there's ads and stuff like that. Just something to definitely worry about. But if you can take that into consideration, I'm sure you do a lot better, and it would help a lot. I normally charge $77 an hour when making websites and ads and so on. See, whatever works best for you is what you should charge. There's no reason why you should charge these crazy prices unless you know you're worth that much. So like if you're doing really basic ads and you start charging $5,500, you're not going to get anyone. But if you're really good and you charge $5,500, I'm sure someone's going to come to you and you're going to get money for it. You don't think you're experienced enough to charge hourly? I don't really charge hourly that much anymore, but I do flat rate. I just think that flat rate for a designer sometimes is a little bit better, unless it's for a logo. I know it's going to take a while, then I'll charge hourly. But that's basically all I have to say. So this is going to be Magni. He's been asking about his portfolio, so I still hope he's in the chat. We have about 38 viewers, I say. So we're going to be doing him. So this is his portfolio. We got mascots, advertisements, and logos. We're going to go quickly through everything just so I can bang out the rest of everyone else. So one thing I do want to say is with these are very kind of unique, but it's the same thing. You can see these glows, but there's just like this, oh god, I keep clicking at things. There's just like this background of the green that you kind of just push down, and I think if you cut this down so there's like kind of a perspective onto it, it would look a little bit better. I just think these hard cuts straight onwards down is just a little bit weird. With this, really good. I like this a lot. But you know, the horizon text is just not my thing, and especially with the tags in the bottom, it's just not like my my specialty, my like what I enjoy looking at. Same thing with this one. This is a lot better, but you know, the silver logo, you know, designer for silver, you don't really need to add designer for silver. If you're gonna see his Twitter header, you're gonna see his bio, you're gonna see his name, you're gonna see what he's a part of. So that's something to look out for. And even if you could take the silver logo and make it smaller and put it into the middle, maybe that'd look a little bit better. I just think that you're kind of cluttering things. But right here you did a really good job, like with you know, the logo in the middle and then the Yogi and Savior. Definitely really good. I like the architecture on each side, but right here maybe if you added like a different image, but I do like this whole entire thing. But one thing to definitely look out for is you have this glow right here, and then you should just light up the bottom of these leaves a little bit and the bottom of like the edges, just to make sure that everything looks like it's a part of one. But going into your mascots, I'm not really one to judge mascots, but I can say that these need a little bit more. Whether the shield gets fixed a little bit, it's not like a diamond looking shield, and there's just shadows and the eyes and then thicker lines. Mascot logos have really thick lines, so there's just something to really look out for. With advertisements, going through these really quickly, same thing I've been saying, there would definitely be a shadow right here, but this text looks a little bit awkward right here. I would just not kind of put this in a vertical stance, and just, you know, this 99 euros. I think that if you put everything in a different way, it would look a lot better than maybe having leaves and greens, you know, coming above it, or just like above it right here would help a little bit better. It's just something to look out for. And lastly, for your logos, for the inner stroke, doing this in Illustrator would be a lot better, because you can come out with this clean clean cut line. I just think these kind of rolled over lines look a little bit weird. Even if you clean it up a little bit, it would look a lot better. But I like the logo in general. It looks really clean. I would just definitely go back in Illustrator and, you know, fix up that clean cut for that line. But your portfolio is good. I do like your social media. I do like these ones, the bottom ones, and definitely the horizon one's probably my favorite. But everything else looks really good, man. You just need to worry about, you know, the shadows and not cluttering things. Like right here, you did the myth on top, which is fine, but when you start adding it like on the corner and the side right here, it tends to look a little bit awkward. So that was Magazine. The next one's Enzo, and we have about 10 more to go. So definitely gonna take up time. Now this one is gonna be a 3D one, which I want to say thank you, because some people are getting into 3D. However, I think 3D is a little bit dying down unless you're doing kind of motion graphics. So with Enzo, one thing I do want to say is when you're doing these glows, you don't want the glow to kind of come up, you know, just right across the top of it. You want to make sure that you have these kind of glowing strokes around the text, just so you know that everything's happening in one, that's just not like an added line. But I think that you should tone down this RGB split a little bit. I think that like the whole magical looks thing is kind of taking away. There's too much contrast and like breakiness around these lines. And same thing, you know, this one's really clean. I think if you take away this text right here and this text right here and just add, you know, shadows around him in the logo or something like that, it's gonna be a lot better. It's gonna come out a lot cleaner. But it does look really good. This one could use a little bit more of that Magic Bolt looks, but not as much as you did the first one. I'm familiar with your work. You used to enter my portfolio or my top 5. But with like this stuff, this is really nice. I like how you added the flowers, you know, coming in and out of the lines. Really clean the bats and stuff like that. It has all kind of steampunk gothic theme, so you know, everything does come across really nicely. Like I've said, just one thing is to add these kind of like blue glows around the edges, just to kind of make sure that everything looks like it's apart. But if you're going to be adding text on each side, this is probably a better way to do it. I wouldn't recommend just throwing it on the side, but you know, this is clean. So good job with your stuff, Enzo. There's not really much I can say. You look like you have an idea what you're doing. There's just you know, shadows are going to help with this, and then just adding these glow strokes around everything would help. And maybe taking away these lines, because I just think these lines look a little bit awkward right here. But that's just like my personal preference. But everything else looks really clean, man. So good job with your portfolio. Definitely. So Ryan, you're up next. I see you typing in the chat, so get ready. I'm gonna lose my voice. Oh fuck. Alright, we got collections and photography. You want me to go through anything first? You want me to I'll go through this first. The Ascend collection. Now, is this a game? If it's a game, it looks cool. I can't see it, man. There's one thing you have to do when you're doing that is you can't see it. So with your photography, I'm not gonna go through all these just because I don't want to go through everyone's time. But these just look like still images. You should bring them into Lightroom if you can and edit them. And I'm gonna be coming out with a bunch of Lightroom tutorials as well. But you know, making sure that everything's clean. They're really good composition pictures, like right there. This is good. This has the clean right here. But definitely something to look out for is making sure that everything, you know, is done through Lightroom, you know, editing. It would look 100% better. I can guarantee that. Like right here, if you have like a nice blur and some more colors coming out, it would help so much better. Like I can take this into Photoshop just because I have it open right now. Let me open a new tab. And I'm not going to do this for everyone's work. I just feel like some people I can show really quickly and some I can't. So this is why I'm doing it. Bear, are you in college? No, I'm not in college. I'm in summer right now. I might not even be going to college. There's just some things that you might not want to do. Alright, so even just taking the saturation up like this, let's just grab like some exposure. Levels. Alright, so even just doing these 3 simple things, you can see how much brighter and more professional this looks. So just something to definitely take into consideration. I hope you understand that. Do you want to become a professional designer? I'm hoping that's what's going to be my my career is designing. I'm doing a pretty good job at it right now, but you can always improve. there's always other things you can do. So the next one's gonna be Tave, normally logo design. All right, I'm gonna go through your logos then. Oh, you're normally logo design? You're welcome, Ryan. So Elias probably. With this, there's only 3 things to say, and it's a big thing I've been saying all the time, is these kind of old gradients are not in, and these extra borders are not very used, so I would definitely take these away, and I would just try to make this, you know, the banner only or the header only, and maybe, you know, taking away these triangles, just kind of making sure everything follows a simple thing. You know, these social or these sponsors are a little bit too big. There's just like certain things you want to worry about. I feel like you're rushing your work. You know, you can see it when people rush things. They're not taking their time and doing it. And you know, if you're gonna do glows on top, I would definitely recommend having it at least come on top of this. But that's just something I would recommend with your work. You just gotta worry about, you know, putting everything in one piece. Yo, Bear, can I just link my portfolio in the chat and cancel it because I need to log into my Google profile, but I don't know. It's cause it's a random letter number combination. Yo, have to add those borders because Twitter says is your header. Well, if you make the Twitter header 1500 by 500, it shouldn't do that. I'm just saying when you're like putting them in your portfolio, you shouldn't add these like these borders in the background that say by tab, and then you take out the you just put it at like a blur and a lower opacity. I just think that's what your portfolio doesn't need, if that's what I'm trying to say. Okay, I'm trying to use portfolio box and I don't know how to add images. I can't help there. Yeah, I know Twitter sizes it. I just recommend putting everything in the middle. That's what I usually do. No breaker, no clip. Thank you for the follow. All right, guys. Brady, you're up. My back hurts. Yo, I ordered a new chair. Ordered a new chair. I got one of those clutch chairs. I might do like an unboxing of it or something fucking crazy because my back's killing me. Oh, what mic do you have? I have. You guys can ask me questions now. I'm chilling. All right, I have the Rode NTS USB-C something mic. I don't know. NTS Rode mic. It's like $128 maybe. Yo, can I like my portfolio in the chat? I saw what you said, Rutsis. At the end, when I finish everyone else, you can do that. Just because I don't want a bunch of people just like dropping it in the chat. You know, we only have 17. All right, we're back to 10 more. So we have 10 more to go through. I'm gonna stop at 8 or 8:30, like 8:30, 8:45 is when I'm gonna start talking to everyone. So about like a half an hour, I'm gonna go through these more. And then if you don't get it to yours now, you can always come back and, you know, the next stream, which is gonna be in a couple days. Tave, so overall Gucci. Yeah, no, Tave, definitely you're overall good, but just like certain things to look out for. Everything else looks really nice though, man. You just need to worry about, you know, the shadows and then making sure everything looks into one image. I feel like a lot of you are just, you know, placing stocks around and not knowing what to do. So, all right. Anyone else have any other questions about the portfolio box? I can't really answer that. The graphics card, I have the 980 Ti. For PC specs, off the top of my head, 5700K maybe, 5300. I don't know. It's one of those i7s. 980 Ti, 32 gigs of RAM, 800 watt gold thing. Fans. You guys can, if you guys scroll down, you guys can see my setup, and there's just basically a little click thing that you guys can do, and you guys can watch me talk about it. So it's basically enough for me to just keep explaining it. You guys can just click the little link, and then you're good. All right, Brady, you're up next, homie. Hope you're here. If not, you can see it on YouTube. So really quickly, I do like how you're branded these with these kind of colors. Really clean, you know, they're eye appealing. With these, if you're gonna add this cartoon effect around things, I would definitely recommend doing it throughout the whole piece, like this kind of like sketch effect, just because adding a real background and the sketch effect just looks a little bit awkward. With these, there's just the little glow sharpened things around the corner that you just have to worry about. Same thing here. It's really blending these together is what I want to say. Like right here, there's this like the choppy edge, and it's something to definitely look out for. The ads overall look good, But those choppy edges, cleaning things up, don't be adding too much. Like for your bottom ones, you start adding too much, but with these up top ones, are a little bit better. If you're gonna have these shadows come, a big thing is a shadow is gonna be casted from the whole thing, so you still left out this whole entire piece right here. Like the shadow would be coming out like that, if you understand what I'm saying. So things like that. With this glow, you have the right idea of the glow coming on top and lighting up the shoulders, but the glow on the bottom would be lighting up the bottom a little bit more and creating maybe a little bit more of like a drop shadow off the shirts that you can see would help. But everything else looks good. As I said before, keeping a whole sketch idea through this would be better. Social media, really clean. I think actually no, these are really clean. You can't really read this boosted text, but everything else looks really nice. I just think that maybe you're adding a little bit too much like gradients and contrast and stuff like that. It looks a little bit too like I can't say this without being mean, but it looks too much like you're just starting out. Like I can't really say that without being mean. That's when people like first start out, this is what they do. They add like too much like contrast and exposure and things on the logo, and they go imaginable looks and they kill the whole quality. So that's what you want to look out for. I'm gonna go through logos and that's gonna be it. For your logos, when you put them into your logo folio, make sure that they're a little bit bigger. They're good. I think that for the most part they're really clean. Maybe adding them more on just a black and white background is just not. Maybe adding a little bit more would help. But the grind, that's alright. And the space one's cool, but I think that right here and the little circle cuts look a little bit awkward. Maybe if you had like 3 circles on top of each other, look a little bit better without those cuts. But that's what I had to say. Overall, man, they're good designs. I don't want to go through everything because I have other people. So what I went through is really good. Detroit, link in your report now. Scorcher, what up, man? Detroit, how you doing? All right, Link C, you're up next. My back is fucking dying. Yo, can someone refresh and tell me how many followers we have? We got 175 or 575 yet? All right, this is gonna be done quickly. Social media. Yeah, I like these colors. These colors are sick, but the shadow's too much right here. That's one thing I noticed right away. So making sure these colors pop, really big thing. I misspelled something I just noticed. What do you suppose? Guardian, sniper. I don't know, I didn't see it yet. But these look good. I would just think this drop shadow on the Bexo text a little bit much. This is cool. Shout out to Signal something for doing this, Signal Noise. But if you're gonna have this kind of like earthy kind of blues and purples, I would definitely add more onto here. I just think that you just added a different color purple that just didn't match the whole entire scenery. And same thing like I said before, the shadow behind the first text in the front is a little bit too much, but I do like the whole entire style that you're rolling with. If you just tone down this shadow, it just would help so much more. This is a little bit better. I do like this a lot more, but I think these little boxes that you have placed around are a little bit awkward. And then for this one, I think that you need a little bit more glowing, or a little bit more kind of like feel up here that you have around here. Maybe a little darker background just to help bring out everything and taking away these fade text and stuff like that. But you know, for the most part, everything's good. And then for your overlays, I can't really judge overlays. You know, they work for the people that want them. It's basically what they want. I would just recommend doing more contrast inside of them. Like this one you did really well having the black on silver on purple, but everything else looks really good. Alright, so that's that. We're going right through these 5 notifications. Alright. GFX Chaz, you're up next, homie. Yo, you're welcome. Linksy? I'm gonna call you Links, just because I don't want to get your name wrong. Oh, there's a lot of work here. Alright. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. CSGO. Alright, we're gonna back out here. We're gonna go through them first. Alright, I want to say with these, if you're branding a skateboard, bro, you're gonna have to make sure that you can see the whole thing in one scroll. You know, I don't want to scroll through and have to click the image for it to pop out. That's just something that is a little bit irritating. But let's go to your 3D banners. For this, I've been saying it for a while, is this this gradient that you put on top, this color overlay, just needs to be taken away. I don't think that people are utilizing them right, and I think that there's too much of a bigger gap between everything right here, so something to definitely work out for. And then using like a pack to create this is just a little bit iffy now. I think that you should be able to create these water textures and everything like that by yourself, and then also making sure that everything looks a part of it. Like you can see the white stroke around the shark and around the fish and stuff like that. So looking into stuff like that is really key for your 2D banners. There's me. Like I said, these gradients and these color overlays that you're putting on top of the work just sometimes isn't the best for social media. For your right here for your thumbnails, I just think that you need to maybe make them a little bit cleaner. I think that you have the right idea of using the gun and using things around it. I just think that these RGB splits and everything like that around it just isn't a lot. If you're doing this in Photoshop just by itself, I would recommend getting Magic Bullet looks. As much as I hate using it, I would recommend getting it just to help bring out this. I think that this green overlay on top of it and this RGB split is just way too much. So looking into that would definitely help. Julian Cooney is next. What up, Julian? Cooney. Cooney? Bro, I didn't even want to show mine now. I don't want to get ripped. Bear, could you possibly look at my banners after you finish with everyone? Yeah. I'm telling you, I like 8:30 or I'm taking it. I'm stopping. Hopefully I can make it through everyone. Detroit, you're going to be the last one. Alright, so this is Julian. And what I've been saying before, this is a lot nicer, but if you're going to make this guy glow with his hands, or if he's doing that already in the stocks, I would recommend doing it a lot more and having it symmetrical on both sides. For this, I would recommend putting the background behind everything and maybe adding a little bit more. This is just like too less, it needs more. And then for this one, of course, I would recommend always centering the logo. And then you don't even need this text, the esports team. If you center the logo and then create kind of like an atmosphere around it and above it, then it would help just a lot more. With your logos, I would recommend only doing it on flat color, so one color on top of one color. I don't recommend doing gradients. And then for your Twitch panels, these look fine. I would just recommend, of course, doing a little bit more of this contrast in the background so the text pops out a little bit more. But these look really nice. I like how you have this kind of cut on top of it and these kind of borders around it. I think it would look really good on a Twitch account for sure. We got fuel designs up next. All right, we got a Carbon Man. Oh, Carbon Man has this stuff now. So we got Cinema 4D scenes. Look at my 3D first. My 2D sucks. I'm on Cinema 4D regardless. So with this, this is cool. I like this, but I would move this couch in the center, and then you have the lighting. I like the lighting on this, but so I think that the cloud should be, you know, above it, or maybe the cloud should be taken away or something like that, and having just shadows, just because I think that it looks a little bit awkward. That's just me. 3D headers and manipulations. The oil style is a little bit too much, but I do like the whole style you have going on here. It looks all in one. And like I've been saying before, this like digital effect and stuff like this, and this kind of glows and greens and colors and put on top of each other, I just think that need to be taken away. And you know, there's like little glow shadows right here that aren't necessary. And there's like things like that you have to worry about. Making sure that these symbols are high quality and everything looks good. These have really bad pixelation around them. And maybe creating a better atmosphere around it, like using a wooden desk instead of just these kind of colors. It's just something to look out for. Like, this is really cool. I like this, but you know, the background be a little bit darker, out of focus. Same thing around here. And the alien, maybe he would be glowing a little bit more from this light, but that's really what I have to say. Same thing with here. There's kind of like this mosaic pixelation oil style around everything that you should definitely look out for, and using more high quality. Now this is really nice. I do like this a lot. I don't know if this was painted or not. Maybe these are painted and I'm going crazy, but this is really cool. I do like this a lot, and how everything flows together nicely. Yo, Twitch Mika, thanks for the follow. And for the 2D, this is really clean. This is nice. This is nice. This is nice. They're all nice. I like these a lot. I would definitely take out, no offense, this one, and just keep these ones up first. These are really clean. You have kind of like an idea what you're going on. I just think that maybe this would be a little bit better if you had this kind of white inner stroke around it as well. It's mica, all right, and everything kind of has that kind of glow to it. I just think that there's just too much green. It needs to have that white inner circle around it just for everything else to come together. But I'm losing my voice. that's that. Bias designs. Bias. What are we at now? Let me color this in. $22.30. Alright, so with your stuff, probably haven't sent you here for commission work, so yeah. That's clever. For your logos, this is cool, but I think that they're mocked up a little bit weird. Using stuff from a tutorial in your portfolio sometimes isn't the best either, because odds are if a client's coming to you, they've looked on YouTube already. That's a big thing, and I think these are made in Photoshop because I can see these way these are stroked up, so definitely creating everything in Illustrator, man, for logos, just top tier, what you have to do. For these, like I said, using stuff in the background, I would make this black and white before you put it in the background like this, because I can still see that kind of green glow through it. And this is really nice. I do like this kind of GTA thing, but maybe if you had this kind of flipped over on the other side coming down and centered with this, it would look a little bit better, just to kind of create more of a purple feel in here too, just so everything, you know, has a symmetric feel to it. And then for this one, other than these things used off a Google image, I still think that you know, you could do a lot more. I think that you could add maybe shadows or a flat design shadow or anything like that that could really help your work. So that's what I have to say about your kind of work. Alright, I have a question from Jewy. Hey, I'm Julian. You told me to make more of an atmosphere on one of my banners. Could you give me some tips with that? With tips with an atmosphere is basically what I'm saying is you want things to have glows, particles, anything that wants to go above it and below it as well, and kind of make it all into one. You want things to look clean together and make sure everything looks like it's a part of one image. Like you don't want. All right, I'll take your photography for an example here. This is you don't want this with a purple floor. Like it's gonna look really weird. Let's see, why is it? Oh, it's blue because of this. Oh, all right, you don't want with the blue floor because it doesn't look right. But when you take it away and you add this kind of charcoal floor, it looks better. And then if the sun's coming down, it's gonna beat on here. You can see how this is lit up. The lake's lit up. That you want things to have light to it, and you want things to have kind of like a scenery to it, and how everything makes sense in a designer's aspect. So that's what I want you to worry about, is making sure everything makes sense and then has lighting. Like here for this daily project, I can use this because I just saw it and I know what I'm doing. Alright, so here it is. It's glowing, and it's glowing the floor, and it's glowing the edges around everything. So this is what I meant by, you know, creating an atmosphere around everything. So this is Atari with his advertisements, and this is really cool. I just think that making sure everything is to scale and ergonomically correct. I think these cherries are huge, and these limes are huge, and this knife's huge. Or no, knife's small, and limes are huge. These are huge. But things like that. These are really good for Cinema 4D work though. I do like these. The lighting is really nice. I would just maybe use a different rendering system. I think you're using probably Octane or something like that, but like with this is really clean because you have a whole like kind of background around it. I just think that there's too many things out of focus around here. But you know, this is good. It has a in range and focus, but these are really nice. But I would definitely worry about scale. Scale is a little bit bigger because I don't think that a knife, like, you don't want something like this and this and this, you know, you don't want this being like half the size of this, if that makes sense. Or maybe like my sunglasses and my phone, and my sunglasses being twice the size of my phone. Like it just wouldn't make sense in a designer's aspect. So for the final destination, this is sick. I like this a lot. You can tell that it's a Cinema 4D just because you can see how the ring looks and it doesn't really fall over. But this is really clean. I do like this, how it picks up the helmet. You have everything what you need in a line. You have the glows, you have the shadows, the scrapes. So your work's really good, man. I don't really have to say anything about it. I'm sure you know that. But I do like this a lot. This is something that you can create into like maybe a wallpaper, a poster, and print it out and sell it to people. It's just that kind of work, man. So good job on that one. The next one's gonna be Alfie. And Alfie has work like this. Oh, my back. I'm not only gonna go through one thing. I'm gonna go through advertisements just so I can kind of bust through these for you guys. And for advertisements, like I've been saying with other people, making sure that you have shadows on the things, everything glows in one piece. not adding your signature in a big aspect like this. Creating a floor plan so everything's not floating is a really big thing. I do want to say, of course, add, thanks for the follow, man. For your Dragon Lore giveaway, it's too bright. You need to, just tone down things. You need to take a step back and realize that it's too bright. Take down the contrast, or up the contrast, take down the brightness, or whatever the case might be. And then for the logos, I can't really say anything about logos because I feel like you need to do other things. I've been streaming. It's not going to tell you about my uptime. Oh no. Did I fix it? Whatever. My uptime is 1 hour and 4 minutes, man. For this, just making sure that this is the same height as this. They're centered. I just think that you kind of rush this type of logo, so that's what I have to say about it. Definitely slow down your work. Parker, you're up next, and then Blux. All right, what? Let me look at this real quick. All right. All right, Parker. So our Coup Designs, Parker. What am I looking at, Parker? All right, so I'm gonna go through just one thing, or you only have 3 things. So with this is clean, but you don't want this cut here. You want things to blend. So maybe if you penciled around him and kind of blended this MLG background at the side of him, and maybe added like shadows to kind of make sure everything kind of flew together a little bit more cleanly, it would have looked better. Using logos that are maybe white instead of this kind of off gray would have helped. But that's what I have to say. A big thing is this border around the work as well is something that you want to look out for. For this, really not much I have to say about this. I think that you should just maybe add more. I just think that it needs a different feel to it. You don't want to do this flat design look with these palm trees on the sides and then add like this lighting and crumbled paper. It just doesn't make sense. And then for this one, this is a little bit better, but I think the font choice needs to be different. I think this is a very overused, kind of a new school project type of font. So if you want to up your work, you're gonna have to do that. You should make a Discord chat. I'm gonna be making a Discord chat soon. I have to do other things first, man. I have a lot of stuff going on. So Blue is up next. He said his name's Ryan, but he says it's pronounced Blue. It's Blux, but it's pronounced Blue. So for this esports thing, this is really clean. This has definitely caught my eye. I would maybe make this background black and white and have him glow purple. There's just things to do. Right here on site, this is clean. I like how these are the same height. You have an idea what you're doing. Surfy and wave. Things definitely make sense around here. Maybe adding a shadow around him that's this flat design shadow, because I can see that you have this kind of color change, but it's a flat design color change, so I would definitely keep that throughout the consistency throughout the piece. Right here, these are really clean. I do like this. With the overlay, I think there's too much yellow around here that you should probably cut this down and make the logo a little bit bigger. But everything looks good, man. I do like the first one I looked at. I think this one looks really good too. Maybe making the background black and white here, and then these are like, I think there's like a flat design cut with it would look really nice. But you can try whatever you want. With the blue branding, yeah, this is really clean, man. I do like the logo. I do like everything else around here. I think there's a little bit too much choppiness around some of these, but I like the noise that you put on top of the background, and I think the color choice is a really clean idea, man. So good job with your work. There's just like little things like that. Just try different things with your backgrounds, maybe like a black and white with some purple glow to kind of complement this. But that's that. A different font choice could help. That it's just kind of like an overused font. So I hope you understand what I'm saying. One sec, let me color these in. Alright, the next is Scorcher. Send me a Behance. Logo folios. I'm gonna go through the logo folio first and then Twitter. So with the logos, I like how you have the color changing of maroon to white, but if you're gonna do maroon to white, I would definitely maybe go maroon with a white logo and white with the maroon logo, just because it looks a little bit cleaner rather than placing these different colored things on top of each other. But with that said, I can't really say anything about your logos. I think that they're very stylized and they're very branded nicely. I just think that what I said of using like a white background, the maroon logo will help a little bit more, because this maroon with pink looked a little bit weird. And this looks clean. There's just like little things, like this little hump right here would look cleaner if it just came around the whole entire piece, and then everything like that. So definitely things to look out for. Maybe making this straight up like a diamond. There's just like little things to look like that. I would definitely try out first, but those look pretty decent overall. For your Twitter headers, I would definitely just worry about going back into branding. No offense to this, I just think that you have a lot of work to do, whether it be, you know, shadows. If you're gonna have this kind of glow, I think that a lot of people need to start worrying about is using more color corrections and creating their own, like exposure, brightness, levels, and stuff, messing with that kind of stuff. Like with this, wow, that's an old picture, but there's just too much like glow on top of him. There's too much light going around, so definitely something to worry about. But the branding you have itself is really good, so I'd keep up with that, man, 100%. All right, so the next one's gonna be Detroit. You've been waiting, man. You've been waiting. You've been sitting here. You've been waiting. I got a missed call by my mom. She be waiting. You be waiting. My voice be going away. All right. I've seen your work a lot, so I can say things. This is really clean. I like how you did all this, and you have the breakdown. You have everything like that. There's really nothing I can say about this. There's one thing when I first noticed this. Oh my god. Is this looked a little bit awkward right here. I feel like if it was gonna be a tag, I think that it shouldn't blend into the skin so perfectly. I think that it should have kind of a different texture on it, if you know what I mean. So with that said, you know, we can go to other things, the website design. Very good, very well branded. I think that if you're gonna do a little bit more, you should definitely add more pages onto here, but everything looks clean. You know, a big thing I like doing is putting a scroller on my branding pages, my UIs that I do for people. But everything looks clean. I believe these are the same height and length, so these are centered. I'm gonna do it anyway, just so I don't go too into myself. All right, so with these, the bottoms should be matching each other, if that makes sense, and they should be the same width apart from each other. Now that's what I think. It could be totally different. It's a transparent screen, I get you. All right, if it's a transparent screen, then I understand more. But these should be the same on the bottom. Now that's my personal preference. That's how I usually see brandings and UIs go. For logo folio, I'm gonna go through this last, or like this is the last thing, just so I can go through other people's things and go drink a glass of water and get my voice back. So with these, I think that you have the right idea. These are very professional, but you know, something that I worry about is like, oh god, I didn't mean to click that. Is like spacing with like some of your text right here. I think the spacing is a little bit less. It needs to be more. These are really clean. I'm sure that these lines come to even. If not, then this edge should touch that edge. The little things like that. These are very clean. Of course, maybe adding a gradient right here to kind of create more of a contrast, or a gradient throughout the piece, and then more of a gradient coming up to kind of create things. Now, I don't really recommend doing gradients on logos, but things like these, it's very useful. However, with the sloth concept, I would use sloth colors, man. You gotta keep that sloth kind of color going on. But everything else looks clean. This is exactly what I was talking about though, with the gradients. And I think that the gradient cut right here looks a little bit weird, but there's probably no other way to do it. I just think that maybe if this was left alone without the gradients, it would look a little bit better. But with your black and white branding, it's a very good thing to do on the bottom of your portfolio for sure. So everything looks really clean, man. I don't want to go through a little bit too much. I've seen your work before, and you know I think it's really good, so I don't need to go and praise you for that. All right, the next is gonna be Max. I'm gonna go through two of these. I'm gonna click on the first one, and I'm gonna go through the next one. Now this is a Rosemark ad, I believe, and this is really clean. I like how you did this stuff up here, but I think right here is a little bit different. I don't like how you have these kind of cuts around here, and these gradients and stuff like that. I think that they should be maybe moved around, but the way you did everything right here is really clean. I think that's really good. Maybe a little shadow right here on the text, but nothing too crazy. I think that what you did is really good. I just think that this white and kind of purple cut is a little bit awkward, so something to look out for. And then last, I'm gonna click on this one, and this oil style that you added on the guy, I don't recommend doing. And other than just inverting the colors, I don't see much of a difference, other than you don't have the block cut right here. So there's little things like that you definitely worry about. Mayan temple, this is cool, but it would be cool if you took the photo yourself and did it. And it kind of reminds me of the Starboy thing, and same thing with this stuff. This looks really cool, but I think that you can put all this into one portfolio like one portfolio section. You don't have to put different sections in each and everything. All right, how many portfolios are left? Too many, man, too many. Nah, not that. There's about, I think, 2. Isa and Remix, and then I'll do yours, and then I'm peacing out. All right, so Lodge. Let's go stream overlays. So stream overlays, I think you should brand a little bit different. Maybe putting them into more of a compressed thing, that making them smaller so they look like they're actually being used is what I like doing. I just think that when you brand them too big, it looks a little bit weird. For the splice jerseys, these are clean. I like how you branded these. The social logos are a little bit, or the logos are a little bit too big, and the showcase would look a little bit better. This is just a black background. I think that the orange in the bottom looks a little bit weird, but these sponsor logos look excuse me, a little bit too big. And then for Twitter headers, this is clean, but of course if you're following the design of that logo right here, you want to keep that flat design style throughout everything. You don't want to start doing this kind of flare glowing effects if nothing else is 3D to kind of bounce off that glow. So definitely something to look into when you're doing everything like that. So you should really utilize Behance photo grids in this project more. Yeah, I just think people don't really go through this. ArtStation, Remix 40, yo. If I see ArtStation, you know damn right this is about to be good. There we go. So this is some 3D work by Nick. His name is Remix 40. Yo, Zax, I'm gonna be doing a couple portfolios after this, so this is the last one. So this is his portfolio. You guys can see the breakdown of it, which I do love seeing. I didn't mean to click that. I would definitely add a little bit more, maybe a moving gift or something like that. But this is really clean, and like I use Octane render. Something I would definitely take away is this kind of cinematic. I don't even know what to call it anymore. It's like cinematic photography, 55mm look to it. I think that's a little bit awkward, but this is really clean. Like I said, maybe adding more of a background to it though would make you hit that top tier spot. The cherry is really good. The limes have that really cool effect to it. They look a little bit fake, but I think everything else looks good. I like how you have the glows on here, and then everything else looks really nicely. So you're definitely doing the right thing, man. I like you have a ArtStation for your work as well, because your work deserves an ArtStation. So that's gonna be it for those portfolios that were linked. As I said to one person, what was I saying? As I said to Rutsis, I'm gonna do way out there. He sent that shit right away. He was like, "Damn, I've been waiting. I've been waiting. All right." I'm gonna go through 2 of these things. So I'm gonna do ads first. So with the ads, with a lot of Nike ads, man, I would definitely recommend doing a lot more. I don't think just the lines is fine. I think you should try to add maybe splatters or the kind of glows around him, or maybe putting a foot into him and making it running, and just creating like a more professional ad. Like even if we type in Nike shoe ad, you can see that it's like it has this kind of glowing effect to it. You can see that it has this kind of stuff to it. This is definitely something that you want to look into, is creating advertisements like that. So one thing to really look into, please check my ads. What portfolio are you? Didn't I go through you already? I thought I went through all your ads. So, and then I'll go through your headers and logos. So with the headers, it's what I've said. This is very familiar. But the shadows, I think that the text is just a little bit wonky. That if you're gonna be doing styles like these, you know, create that 80s theme throughout the whole thing, you have to stay consistent throughout your designs. And then lastly, for your logos, this is clean, but making sure that this block is the same. The block could fit right here perfectly, and then here, of course. The branding is clean, but I think that you should maybe take a whole section of the logo and put it in the middle, and then put this below it as its own section. Yeah, I'm not doing everyone's things just because it takes a while, and I don't have the time to sit here and go through everything else. What did he say about remixes for? I said that it was really good, man. I said that it was really good. You guys, you can totally come on this YouTube later and watch it. It's gonna be uploaded tomorrow, but yeah, I said it was good. If you want to write down a time, go to an hour and 25 minutes, 100%. Hour and 25. Write that down right now, and then watch on from there. You're welcome, homie. But that's what I have to say. You know, Evolve RC. I don't even see any work. For banners, same thing. I would just put social media into one and then add the headers and banners, but that's exactly what I want to say. So that's gonna be it for the portfolio reviews. I can barely talk, my voice is dying. So if you guys have any questions, let me know right now. You guys can ask me questions. I'm gonna be right here to answer them for a little bit. And by the way, come on, Atari. You know how to get fake password? No, I don't know how to get fake password. I know how to get a fake ID, not a fake password. Sexy header. Oh, you like my header, dude? Look at that. That's my car. That's my bag. You don't like that? I need it for a friend. You need it for a friend. You need it for yourself, homie. Come to America. Damn, LV with Mercy. Yeah, dude, that's my car, my bag. I got the... Where is it? I got the wallet to match. What is hotter, Trixie Tang or Kylie Jenner? Fuck's Trixie Tang? Is some porn star? Meme. Ho ho. Ah, dude, you gotta go with her. 100p. Look at her. Look at those curves. Built like a freaking built brick. Did he already? Have you reviewed everyone? Man, I lost my voice. All right. Any other questions, guys? Before I sign off and I give that peace. Oh. All right. Yeah, all portfolios are done. Look at those curves. You don't like that? Can you look at my banners? I don't want to look at anything else, man. I've spent the last hour and a half going through stuff. I already reviewed everything, man. Iron board ass, yo, Detroit. Take what you got. You gotta get a. Everyone needs love. Iron board looking people, fat chicks. Everyone needs it. I can't even say that. So I'm not the kid that gave them love. I got my back, dude. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna lay in my bed and just knock. It'll be fucking lights out. She looks like a gremlin. Yeah, I'm telling you, Zach, take what you get. I'm just kidding. Alright, I'm gonna call it off from the stream because it's been an hour and a half. I gotta edit this. I gotta upload this. Alright, so if you guys had missed most of this, it's gonna go live at 12 noon Eastern time tomorrow. Hopefully, I'm gonna say this, but I'm probably not even gonna upload it and wait 4 months to do it. So if you guys need any questions or comments, you know, hit me up on Twitter. My DMs are always open, so you guys can always message me on there. But hope to see you guys later on in the stream. It's been Garrett. Peace out, homies that stayed in the chat. Other than that, see you guys in my other videos. Deuces.